he's done it. I mean, he's lived it.
He's doing it, and he's doing a great job. But we want you to get to know him. So take a look at this deep dive.
Bye, guys. See you later. Cheers.
See ya.
Paw-paw.
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 Mama and Paw-paw. Say see you later.
See ya.
What's up, Woodford? Guys, we are here today joined with our new superintendent of the Woodford County Public School System, Danny Adkins. Danny, it is a pleasure to have you here on What's Up, Woodford. We're so glad to have you in Woodford County as well.
Well, thank you, Emily, for the opportunity. It's just a really good chance for us to get out and highlight our schools and our school district and what's going on, the positive things. So I'm very excited to get to do this with you today.
That's awesome. Well, guys, we want to give you a glimpse. I know you guys have heard about Danny's background in the Woodford Sun and through other channels, and some of you probably have even met him in his tenure here so far, but we want to take a deep dive. He's a great guy that I'm getting to know, and I wanted to share his story with you all because our school system plays such an important role in our community. So, Danny, can you tell us where you came from, kind of your story, and what brought you to Woodford County?
Yeah, I grew up in eastern Kentucky in Pike County and attended Millard High School, graduated from there in 1989. Went on to Morehead State University and wrapped up my undergraduate there. Did a master's degree there as well. Ended up, started teaching in 1995 at Millard High School, my alma mater, so that was really nice to be able to go back and share lunches with teachers that I had. Be able to sit down and talk to them as adults, whereas I was used to being, a student. So yeah, that was very nice. So I spent, I think we were 4 years at Millard High School, and we consolidated into a middle school. So I was there for another 15 years.
Wow.
I taught, at high school level, I taught freshman and sophomore science. And then in the middle school, I taught 7th and 8th grade science. So I did that for another 15 years. Throughout all that, I drove a school bus. Did that for 19 years.
Wow.
Well, 18 and a half.
Yeah.
And I was a senior sponsor. I was a junior sponsor for the prom. I sat on site-based councils, chaired superintendent search committees in Pike County. Did quite a bit of things there in leadership roles in Pike County. I was the Pike County Education Association president for a year. Then I was, when I left Millard High School, or Millard Middle School at that time, I was hired as the principal at a very small elementary school. Would remind you of Northside, Kemper Elementary. And from there, I was hired as the personnel director in Pike County, which fairly large district, about 8,400 kids, and 1,600 employees. So you can imagine with that many employees, stayed pretty busy in the personnel section. So after that, I had applied for the job in Floyd County. Was lucky and fortunate enough to be hired there. Was there for 3 years. I felt like we did a lot of good things in Floyd County. And when I say good things, I felt like we kind of changed the culture there. They had been a testing based culture in their schools. And we changed that to just being more career ready, life ready. And that doesn't always mean college. That can be internships, apprenticeships, CTE programs, those types of things. So I felt like we did a really good job with that. And a lot of things we're proud of there. The opportunity came up. I was really surprised, to see Woodford County's superintendent's job open up, and it's kind of on the fence. And my wife has an aunt that lives here in town. She's a retired teacher, and we'd heard for years. She had a cousin that graduated from over here at Woodford County High School, so we'd heard for years what a great school system it was. So then I thought, you know what, I just might do this. I might apply for this. So as I started doing research for possible interviews, it was just evident at the influence that Woodford County had here in central Kentucky, and really across the state as well, when you go back and look through the history of Woodford County. So a top 5 school district, not to mention just all the history embedded here in Versailles and Midway both. It was an opportunity I couldn't hardly pass up, and I'll never forget. I knew 19 people had applied, and
wow.
I had been asked to speak at an energy management conference in Bowling Green, and I was down there, and I had received an email for a virtual interview. So I go up to the room, and I do the virtual interview, and I come back down, and the guys are like, well, how'd that go? And I said, I'll never hear from those people again. It was horrible. And next thing you know, it just keeps rolling. So it was a very, very good opportunity.
That's awesome. You used a word that you also are starting to make a trend on Twitter and in social media, influence.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that and what that means to you.
And that's where that came from. That came from the the research I had done as I looked at what the things that had gone on in the school system here in Woodford County, and just again how influential it had been, and just the county itself to the history of Kentucky. So when I applied for when I came for my in-person interview, I had, obviously I had a portfolio of things I had done, and I love a good hashtag. So WCPS, well, it actually started out as Woodford County Schools WCS influence, and Mr. Asher said you need to add public schools to that. So public. So anyway, even through the interview, I said, look, if you guys don't hire me, I think it's pretty cool hashtag. You just use it if you want.
Yeah.
So even if you don't want me, you can keep the hashtag. But it worked out really well. And, in several instances, I've had a chance to discuss that. I had the chance to speak at the Hall of Fame dinner the other night. And again, I tell those folks, you guys are where the influence came from. I mean, all the accomplishments and the achievements that you have been able to reach has given Woodford County this opportunity to say how influential they are. Yeah. Had a chance to have lunch with our retired teacher group one day last week, and they're one of the reasons of the influence, because they started building this foundation as to what this school system is, how successful it's been. So again, they're part of that influence as well, and it's just Woodford County as a whole. I mean, it's very influential, in my opinion, and they always have been, but we're going to broadcast it. Yeah. We're going to let everybody know that we're going to celebrate our kids, we're going to celebrate our accomplishments and our achievements, our staff, our schools. We're going to celebrate everything. We just want everybody to know how great Woodford County is.
That's awesome. We share that same goal in different ways, with tourism and the chamber, Corey and I here with What's Up Woodford. So we love that you have that mission. That's definitely a shared mission, and I think we have a lot to celebrate here. Tell us, you mentioned your portfolio, and you were quite accomplished. You've implemented some things in your previous roles and already here in Woodford County. And talk to us a little bit about some of those things that you want to bring here. As you mentioned, Woodford County is a great school system. It historically has been, and it still is today. But what are some things that you think are areas of improvement or that you have as goals in mind? Yeah.
Well, that everyone knows that Woodford County doesn't have its own CTE school that we share that with over in Fayette County. Right. Our goal is to bring more of that to here so we can control more of that. And, you and I have had some discussions that a CTE program should be based on the needs of the community and the region. It shouldn't just be just a carte blanche welding program, or it needs to be tailored to what we need here in Woodford County. Ideally, we want to train our students to lead a good life, to be able to stay home, increase our economy here, increase our tax base. I mean, that's what good schools do. Yeah. So ideally, that's what we want to do. So we want to bring more of those CTE opportunities. I had a really good opportunity to meet with the president from Bluegrass Community and Technical College the other day, and we're actually working on something right now that would lead our students, if they're successful, to two different pathways. One of them would be a computer engineering pathway, and the other one would be a cybersecurity pathway. And they could do that through the same course. And then there's opportunities from Toyota to help push those students that have been successful onto UK to complete the entire degree, the 4-year degree. So just things that we're working on. We picked some low-hanging fruit right now. We're doing a teacher education program, and we're doing that through Asbury. But that's just low-hanging fruit. That's students are already in school. Let's send them and let them do some observations, and not just as a student, but let them see what the teacher's doing to prepare for a class, what it means to really be a teacher, and how much work goes into that. It's not just walking in and opening up cracking a textbook with a group of kids. There's a lot of preparation that go into that, and our teachers do that very well. So I feel like that's, again, low-hanging fruit. We can look at things such as office managers, because we have secretaries, and I'll tell you, our secretaries run our schools. I've got a secretary over here at the central office named Angel Cooper, and I wouldn't be here probably right now because she tells me, hey, you're supposed to be over there right now.
Literally,
so she basically, Angel helps us run the district more than you can imagine. So we've got those types of opportunities. In Floyd County, I received a text back from my School of Innovation principal the other day that said she was watching students present designs to a GM architect that day. And it just, what we'll see here, as we did in Floyd County, is it's a speck of snow. Yeah. And as it starts rolling, it just continues to grow. As folks see that you're interested,
Yeah.
they want to get on board.
Absolutely.
And we're in a great area to do that as well. So just excited to. COVID's kind of put us in a back seat as far as reaching out to our local industrial partners and some businesses here locally. But we're hoping in the spring we can get that picked up and start really designing our program to fit the needs of what we need here in Woodford and the surrounding region, so
Yeah.
kids can stay home.
That's awesome. We love that. We want to keep our talent here. One of the things you talked about is exposure, because so oftentimes people say, what do you want to be when you grow up? And they just haven't had exposure to an engineering job, or they're not quite sure what that would entail or look like.
Yeah.
So the word exposure, I think, comes to mind. Can you talk a little bit about some of the things that you've done with industry partners in the past, and what these CTE programs will help give the kids in way of broadening their horizon to exploring what's possible?
Yeah, absolutely. And you're exactly right. It is exposure. And I was at a co-op the other day, and another district had presented as to what they were doing. And I feel like we don't do enough of that. So we really need to let kids know what is available. I've always said, if we provide the opportunities, they need that one opportunity to find a spark. And I think Steve Jobs says, if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life.
Right.
So that's where we're at. We want to provide those opportunities. But back to exposure, previously, in other districts I worked in, we would send our 7th and 8th graders over to the CTE schools, and they would get a chance, and they'd have something very safe and fun set up for them to do, but they'd get a chance to see what electricity was, carpentry was, plumbing, whatever that may have been, welding. They get a chance to see that, and it may spark that interest that when they became freshmen and old enough to go, or sophomores, then they were interested in that. And I feel like we need to do that as well. With all of our high school students. Had a great partnership worked out with an infrastructure company up in eastern Kentucky that does most of the infrastructure work up through there. And basically, they came to us. When they realized we were doing this, they came to us and they said, we have 2 simulators for heavy equipment. We would love to be able to partner with you. So we went and bought 2. So now we had 4 pieces of heavy equipment that we could train our students on, they could become certified on. Now, they still had to have seat time. Well, this company said, we've got a large yard with gravel, dirt, whatever. The equipment, you bring them here, that's their seat time. They get to get on their equipment with their teacher or their instructor and actually get their seat time hours. So those are just things that we did to open up some eyes. We had some opportunities through Dale. We were a Dale laptop district in Floyd County. And as we sent our computer engineering teachers over there for training, they're like, we can provide you with the training to produce students that are Dell Tech certified, which means straight out of high school they can work virtually from home troubleshooting, or they can actually on the job work where they're repairing computers or Dell computers and that type of thing. So,
That's right.
yeah, those are things that we just it's been awesome to see it grow.
Yes, yeah. And I think some of the things maybe you can touch on, in my day it was called co-op, but I know you guys provide a lot of opportunities for students, not just in manufacturing, but even in the medical field and otherwise, to get that exposure in high school, actually to be able to work and learn and get career training, because even if it is in manufacturing, I think something that's maybe lost is you might have a connotation of a dark, dingy warehouse, and that's just not these high-tech where you could eat off the floor warehouses we have today.
Not at all. And even your everything is technology based. There's things that we can do that students will never probably even see the facility. One of the things that I met with a parent the other day, and her daughter is pursuing. She's interested in being a veterinarian. So she has been accepted to go to the Salado Wildlife Management,
Yeah.
And work with that vet in the afternoon. So to me, that's awesome. That would have been a dream job for me because I love wildlife, that type of thing. But yeah, she's going to get that opportunity to go and work with that veterinarian over there and just see the different types of wildlife and how they interact with each other. And just to me, that is an opportunity of a lifetime. And that's going to lead that student, I'm sure, to being very successful.
Very impactful.
So the things that we talk about, yeah, it's not an opportunity just to go to work, make a few dollars in your pocket. We want to send kids to experiences.
Yeah.
Not just a job. We want it to be an experience. And we're hoping to grow that, and we're going to grow that.
Yeah.
It may take us just a little bit, but we're going to grow that.
That's right. We can't do everything overnight, but I love the vision. You mentioned COVID earlier in our discussion, and we obviously know that as top of mind for a lot of us. But you guys have done a phenomenal job of keeping kids and students and faculty in staff in schools to learn the best environment they can. Can you talk a little bit about some of the things you guys are doing that's made you so successful in that arena, and your what is it, Test to Stay?
Yeah, Test to Stay program. We have, we basically work very closely with the health department, and we followed as many protocols as we've been able to, based on what we did last year. We didn't change much from last year. I think all of last year they said they had only found one student with a temperature throughout the temperature taking, and that consumes a lot of time. So we're just looking at other areas and to be proactive there. But we have, of course, we've got universal masking right now. And when I look at our attendance, we get our attendance every day, and I share that with our board members every day. But we're running somewhere in the neighborhood of 94 to 95%. That's pretty good. That's almost what we're doing in regular school. But now we do have a quarantine code that we can use, that if students are quarantined, then it doesn't count against absences, that type of thing. However, I'm proud to say we've not missed one day this year because of COVID. We've been in school every day we're supposed to be in school. And I think that says a lot about how committed our staff, our families, our parents, our students have been to staying safe and healthy. So that's been a really good positive here in the county. And then we've also started, I think last Monday, a district-wide Test to Stay program. And that's where if your child is a direct contact and they've been quarantined, they can come to the school the next morning and be tested with a 15-minute test, and if they're negative, they get to go on to school. They don't have to go home. So that's allowing us to keep more students and staff in the buildings. And with that, that's going to keep us in school. So we're real excited about that program, and we're working with the health department on that as well.
That's awesome. Kids in school safely is awesome, and it also helps our community continue to thrive with parents working and our economy. So it hits all levels.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit. You've had some exciting wins, band and football and soccer. Tell us what's happening. All these exciting things. We're just on a great trajectory with extracurriculars and our academics.
Absolutely. Our band has been so successful here lately. I know they've competed in Ohio and been very successful there, and our regional events here locally. I still haven't been there yet. I owe you guys one. I'll get there. I just haven't been there. I just attended Tuesday night. Our volleyball team won the 30th district championship over in Anderson County. Both soccer teams, men's and women, won their district championships. Football team's 8-0. Looking to go 9-0 tonight, getting ready to start basketball season. So we're very excited with all of our extracurriculars that are going on. We've had students that have excelled academically, receiving, being on the watch list for national scholarships, those types of things. So it's not just athletics, it's academics as well. We're being very successful. I can't say enough about our elementary and our middle schools. They just going above and beyond. I was in the middle school the other day, and they were reviewing their Woodford ways as far as being nice and those types of things. And this week's School Safety Week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the
Very
Kentucky's
good.
Council for Safe Schools. So you guys need to take the survey.
We will have to
Need
do
to
that.
take the survey. It's online. I'll make Elaine send that to you, or
Okay.
get Elaine to send that to you.
Okay.
Take that, and it counts towards Woodford County. We want to turn Woodford County green with that, and that means we had over 1,000 pledges for safe schools. So we'll get that to you, but that's exciting too this week. Just a lot of good things going on in Woodford County right now.
That's awesome. I also want to mention, because not only is it a great place to learn, but it's a great place to work. You guys are one of our largest employers in the county. You have tons of different jobs, all different functions and areas of business, and you have really great benefits. The things that I keep seeing that that come out of Woodford County, whether it be a bus driver, being able to work the amount of hours to get full-time benefits and pay. It's incredible. So can you maybe touch on some of the positions that you guys need and a little bit about your culture if people want to join your team?
Yeah, I mean, we've done quite a bit of this here recently as we've been attending job fairs in Western Kentucky and all the colleges that are looking at turning out students here at Christmas at the end of the semester. But what we're looking at, we actually have needs at all levels. We're looking for bus drivers, 4 hours, you get insurance, retirement. We're looking for cafeteria workers, teachers. I mean, we are looking for anyone, if you think you might be interested in working for the Woodford County school system, like you said, it's great benefits, and it's not just a lot of folks talk about being a team. We feel like we are more of a family than we are a team. We celebrate birthdays. I send out birthday cards to everybody in the district. Just got my first batch sent out last week, but yeah. So I had my first thank you for the birthday card yesterday. I hand sign every one of those, and just that's the type of culture that we want to build here. We're not just a team. We're not just working for kids. We're a family working for kids, and that's what makes Woodford special.
That's awesome. Well, I want to wrap it up today. I know you guys have been listening, and we appreciate you guys tuning in on our podcast and on our show. But I do have one more question. You mentioned team or family. So I need to know. I need to ask you. Let's see if you're on the right side of right. Cats or cards?
That's an easy one. Go Cats.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
That's an easy one.
Well, thank you so much for your time today. Thank you for sitting down. Thank you for letting our audience get to know you a little bit better. We'll continue these conversations because you guys are doing great things. Where can they follow you? You're good at social media. You're on it, and you're sharing the good stories. Tell them how they get in touch with you.
Facebook, Danny Adkins, Twitter, Woodford Super 1. That's all I have right now, really. Seems like Twitter is more effective for me right now for some reason, but I really like Facebook simply because I can, I get to blast out faces. I think next week I'm going to go on a hunt. I'm going to go on a smile hunt throughout the schools. And I'm going to get a bunch of smiles, and we're going to blast those. So very exciting time. Just before Halloween, everybody's got a smile on their face because of all the candy. So excited to do that. We do have, and I know it'd be late by the time this is seen, but tonight we have our Halloween happenings up at Northside. And just look for the weird tourist tonight. That's all I can say. There's going to be a weird tourist attending.
A weird tourist. So, yeah. Oh, we'll have to watch out for that. Yeah. VPD, watch out. We might need some backup there. Well, thank you so much, Danny, for sitting down with us. And guys, that is what's up in Woodford. We'll see you next time.